What is up, my dudes, my dudettes, and wrestling colleagues of all kinds? Dan the Beast 94 here, coming back at you on another video, and today I'll be doing a special DVD review, as I'll be reviewing Survivor Series 2001. Decided to do this, figured November rolling in and Survivor Series pay-per-view taking place on this month. Why not review one of my favorite Survivor Series events? Now, just for you guys to know, this isn't the sealed copy. This is another copy that I had recently purchased before buying the sealed copy. So I do have two copies of these. One to watch and one just for nostalgia purposes and collection purposes. But you guys already know about that. So today I'll be reviewing this DVD. This took place November 9th of 2001. And this was the conclusion of the WWF slash Team Alliance or WCW slash ECW storyline. There is the tagline, winner take all. And here is the match card. So let's go through that. And I'll be speaking about some personal opinions about the storyline and pay-per-view itself. So we have the European Championship on the line as we have Christian taking on Al Snow. We have Tajiri versus Alliance Commissioner William Regal. We have a Champion Unification match as we have the WCW United States Champion Edge taking on the Intercontinental Champion Test. Steel Cage Tag Team Championship Unification match. Hardy Boys, who were the WWF Tag Team Champions, taking on the Dudley Boys, who were WCW Tag Team Champions. We have a Immunity Invitational Battle Royal featuring 22 WCW and WWF superstars, or should I say Alliance superstars, as there was more than WCW talent in that. And we had a six-pack challenge for the Women's Championship. We had Lita, Jacqueline, Trish, Ivory, Mighty Molly, and the debut of Jazz, who did that little Booker T movement during the beginning of the entrance on the entrance ramp. And I did see the interview where Jazz was talking about, her going backstage after, and Booker T was just like, what the hell, get your own shit. But then again, that's coming from a guy who does the bookend, which is very much similar to the Rock Bottom. But obviously that's storyline, and that's none of my business. And then for the main event, we had Team WWF versus Team Alliance winner-take-all elimination match, where we had The Rock, Chris Jericho, Undertaker, Kane, and Big Show taking on Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, Rob Van Dam, Booker T, and Shane McMahon. Now let's open this up, show you guys the disc artwork. Now this is the disc, and here is the insert, or should I say insert slash poster. So let me get this out for you guys real quick. So we can take this out. Obviously, it has the match listings on the back, along with the DVD extras. You open it up, you get this nice, beautiful shot, same as the DVD cover. But then, when you open it up from the inside, you get this. Tori Wilson and Lita. Sunday, November... Oh, I got the dates wrong, so it's November 18th. I thought it was November 9th for some reason. So... there we go. Sorry for the false advertising there. And then here we have the WWF advertisement, which basically just, you got to see every other WWF releases at the time. So let me give you guys my personal opinions about this event, or should I say the storyline in particular. Now, if you were to take Big Show and Jericho and move them to the other side and actually have Angle and McMahon coexist, have it be one of those situations where Shane doesn't want to be a part of the Alliance no more for some reason, and basically he's, forced to team up with Kurt Angle in some sort of way or form. And then you have Big Show and Jericho, who were obviously two former WCW alumni. I think that would have made a lot more sense. For them to coexist on the same team, but obviously McMahon was already part as the WCW owner / Alliance owner, so obviously that would have made too much sense. Another thing that I really would have loved to see during this whole storyline is at least, we should have got The Rock versus DDP instead of The Rock versus Booker T. Because obviously DDP's name was dubbed the People's Champion in WCW, while Rock was also the People's Champion, but for the opposing company. So I think it would have made a lot more sense to have People's Champion versus People's Champion. And, don't forget, guys, this is my biased opinion here. So let me know what you guys think about that. If Triple H wasn't injured, I think he would have made a big involvement in this storyline. Definitely Team WWF for sure, as I know he was a former WCW superstar as Terrorizing and John Paul Levesque before coming to WWE in '95. Would have been a part of the main storyline? I think so. He probably would have replaced Big Show, if anything. And that probably would have been a stacked main event right there. And then obviously the biggest missed opportunity is obviously not acquiring every big WCW/ECW star at this time, as certain superstars were basically just sitting out of their AOL Time Warner contracts until they expired and they were able to get picked up by WWE. So like Ric Flair, he could have came a little bit earlier if he wanted to. I mean, he showed up the next night anyway after this event. Goldberg, Hall, Nash, Hogan, Sting. Honestly, if Sting were to have, jumped shipped earlier or come to WWE earlier, we could have saw some big potential matches. Like if Triple H wouldn't have gotten injured, we probably could have gotten an early installment of that match itself. Maybe at Survivor Series, maybe at this event. We'll never know. Sting versus Rock, Sting versus Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, which, from what I heard, it was rumored that, there was supposed to be a possible match at WrestleMania 18 between Angle and Sting. That would have been cool. I mean, I'm glad we got the matches in TNA, but a WWE match between both those guys, that would have been awesome. And a big storyline that I think would have been a great role, a great role in this storyline is, you know what? Think about this, guys. What if Bret Hart never got injured in Starrcade 99? So if he were to have never gotten injured at Starrcade, and he was still under WCW contract at that time, and if the money was right, with nagging negotiations, I think Bret would have returned at this time. I think he would have returned, and I think we could have saw Mr. McMahon versus Bret Hart. It would have been one of those storylines in the making. 4 years later, after the Montreal Screwjob, Bret's back in the WWF, and he's basically here to screw Vince McMahon over. But obviously that wasn't the point. I think there was a lot of grunge at that time, and Bret was already retired at this point due to the injury by Goldberg. Still mad about that. And then obviously everything that happened between the Montreal Screwjob, and I think obviously what applied to that was Owen Hart's death in '99. So I don't think Bret would have ever came back at all, injured or not, retired or not. But I think it would have been cool, if he was still under contract, going through that storyline as I just mentioned. That would have been a match in the making. 4 years down the line, basically the showdown between Mr. McMahon and Bret Hart, as by this time Mr. McMahon was somewhat competitive in the ring, because when Bret left in '97, Vince was still doing commentary until he left the commentary booth. So this has been my review of Survivor Series 2001. Let me know what you guys think about my opinions and storylines. Obviously, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Everybody's biased. So just let me know in the comment sections down below. So make sure you hit that like button, leave your comments in the comment section, and as always, subscribe. Especially if you're going to be watching my videos and you're not subscribed. What are you doing? Hit that button. And until next time, guys, DNTheBeast94, signing off.